I gotta know that dirt.
Yo, if I were podcasting, it would be insane. Knowledge flowing like the sweetest rain. Professor Bear on the mic, spreading wisdom wide. A bear's thoughts, that's my pride, I can't hide.
With the voices in your ear, changing the game.
If I rule podcasting, every thought we'd ignite. In a world of chatter, we'll spark in the fight. With Professor Bear, we're climbing to new heights. A Bear's Thoughts podcast, shining bright in the night. Topics from the heart, never sounding the same. Got laughs and debates, never dull or bland. From culture to tech, take you by the hand. Join the ride with us, feel the vibe expand. With every episode, we shine that beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul.
So tune in, don't miss what we got to share. If I rule podcasting, I spread the love everywhere.
Welcome, and thank you for joining me this evening. I am Professor Bear, and this is A Bear's Thoughts. And guys, girls, 2026, man, it's been a great ride so far. I've been having so much fun getting to talk to my guests. I get to talk to new people. I've been being able to talk to my family, getting to talk to people that were kind enough to let a young cub come on their show and discuss WSN. And the gentlemen I have with me are those two gentlemen who looked out for a bear when I first got started. And I wanted to show some love and support for them for being so kind to me. So with that being said, we have the Opinion City Podcast. Guys, how are y'all doing this evening?
Yo.
Oh man, we're kicking it, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that intro music you got going there, man. I'm over here jamming away.
Yeah,
That stuff's some good stuff.
That's good. That's good.
Love it.
It is so amazing that everybody who and I came up with this song and the whole thing in like it was the first night I started the appreciation, and I thought to myself, man, I need to do something different so it'll separate from my regular shows, so people, if they just want to watch that, okay, came up with it, and everybody has loved it, have given me so much
rock on
different appreciation for it that I'm almost sure now this is going to be my theme music going forward.
I love it. Listen, it's so fire. It's so lit. It's campfire. I'm telling you, man.
Hey, I like that. Good
Killing it.
Good
Oh, man. So I will start with the same question I start with every one of my guests. How did you all become wrestling fans?
Ooh.
Well, so I kind of discovered wrestling through I believe it was really through some cousins of mine from out of town that when they would come in to visit, you know, they would always put wrestling on, and of course I'm of the older generation, so we're talking about like Brutus the Barber Beefcake on Superstars, back in the day, and I just kind of picked it up from there. It was one of those things where like you first see it and you're like, I just can't stop watching.
Right. Yep.
That is cool.
And
So,
for
go
me,
ahead.
I have the more family route. More so like my brother watched it when he grew up, and I sort of started watching it with him. And then I vividly remember seeing Kane's debut, and I was sold. That was it.
Yeah.
It is, and as we talk off camera, possibly, maybe I could get you an autograph from him, considering since he is our mayor here in Knox County.
Yeah.
Listen, we want to come down there and talk to him. Like we're gonna come down and knock on the door and be like, "Yo, we're concerned citizens from up north."
I'm gonna knock and say, first of all, where's your mask?
Yeah, you think if he showed up for like a meeting with that mask on, like people would even know what's going on,
right? But I don't know what's happening.
You would hope,
but
see, he wears that mask when he got to give bad news to him.
Right, right.
That's smart move.
Genius. I love that.
Smart move.
So, with that being said about the beginnings for you all, how did that translate to y'all becoming podcasters?
Well, that's an interesting story.
Yeah.
So,
roll it out.
About 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I guess it's about 10 years now. I had been listening to podcasts regularly. I'm a big Kevin Smith fan.
Yeah. What up?
Has an amazing podcast network, a lot of shows he had at the time. So I'm listening to Kevin Smith and I'm like, I think I could do this. So I came up with the idea. I thought, well, I don't know anything about podcasting. I don't even get started.
Yeah.
So I have to thank one Colt Cabana for being the inspiration here, because for his 300th episode of his podcast, The Art of Wrestling, he did an Ask Me Anything. And one of the questions was, what kind of equipment do you use for your podcast? Now, his podcast was probably the most professional sounding podcast I'd ever heard. And he was just like interviewing guys in his apartment or like backstage at a show. And it sounded like you were sitting there talking to him, like you were right in the room. So I got the equipment that he used. And I had been regularly attending Chikara shows in Philly. And every year they had the big King of Trios tournament weekend in Easton.
Yep.
And that's where I met one Parmesan, who at the time was still married. And so I came up with this podcast idea for a wrestling podcast. And of course, I took my time with it. I asked them if they wanted to get involved, and then I waited a couple of years to do anything about it. Which by the time I finally got around to getting this thing started, Sean was no longer married, but still willing to do the podcast. And I have to send another shout out to the good folks at WWE Creative for whoever came up with Brock Lesnar's Suplex City. They get a lot of credit because I basically stole the name and changed it to Opinion City. And that's kind of where it was at. Sean, how did you feel while all this was going on? Like, what was your take on kind of the start of things for us?
Oh, I was amped from the jump. When you asked me and the ex originally, I was like, yes. Because and originally this is like a, peek behind the curtain, not really. It was only supposed to be a monthly show. He originally pitched it as a monthly show where we all get together. We do a monthly podcast once a month. We hang out, talk wrestling. Cool.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that it was supposed to be monthly.
A monthly pitch.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah,
That's
so news for you. It was a monthly pitch, and so after a few years have gone by and we got divorced, he brought up to me, hey, I think I'm ready. I think I'm finally ready to do this. If you are still down, let me know. And I said, heck yeah, let's do it. And literally, I remember because it was funny. We did the first episode. We recorded it early on before we found StreamYard. Early days Discord. Before we even had video yet. We
were just audio.
We didn't do video until like episode 14. And then that was the all-in, first ever all-in AEW post-show live. That was like our first like live episode. But so yeah, after the first episode, he was like, so like, see you next week. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. See you next week. Like, all right, let's do it. Like, I just kind of locked it in. Like,
see, I remember a lot of stuff, and then Sean fills in the gaps. I've had some concussions, so sometimes it's a little hard for me to remember certain things. But he keeps pretty good at filling in the gaps.
Yeah, I try.
So, with y'all doing your first episode, have y'all went back to listen to it to see how y'all?
Oh yes. There's so many times that me and Ralph will like have a talk, and I'm like, "Yo, do you remember our first few episodes where I didn't have any because he had already had all the setup? I did not. So when he asked me, I was like, "Sure, I can do it, but I don't have microphone. I had no setup. So my first episode or 3 was through these cheap $30 AirPods that weren't even AirPods. They're like the cheap ones. So I sounded like I was in a garbage can for the first 3 episodes.
Well, so I mean, I cringe at some of the first few episodes because, we're with all the podcasts we do, we're like well over 200 episodes all total. But back in the beginning, we had no idea what we were doing. We were just saying stuff and we were just talking. And to be honest, like it wasn't really good because there was no like structure to it. We didn't know a lot about podcasts.
Right. We were just doing it as talking. It went along. So,
yeah, I don't like to go back and listen to a lot of those. Although I will say, our very first guest, who was an audio guest, before we did video, was Ultimo Ant of the Colony, and I. Through my years of fandom with Chikara, I made a lot of contacts there, and so very early on, I called in a lot of the people I knew from Chikara and said, "Hey, look, I'm doing this podcast."
Yep.
That episode, I think, is probably one of our. I mean, I'd put it in our top 10 episodes easily because the conversation.
It was a great conversation.
Was so good, and it started the biggest running gag on our entire show, which. Our moose reel.
Yeah, our moose
because
reel.
Ultimo Ant tells us that in all the years that he's gone to the New England area to wrestle, which is quite frequently for him. He has never seen a moose live in person. And they drive through Vermont, and there is a stretch of highway in Vermont where they are told that more people die from being killed by moose than anywhere else in the country.
Yep.
And they drive up and down this thing and they can never see one. So it becomes this running gag every time we talk to somebody that, we know is in those areas where moose supposedly live. We bring this up and we have yet to find anybody who has seen a moose in the wild. Somebody has seen one in a zoo, we don't have any confirmed
concrete evidence.
Yeah.
Jack.
But that interview, I feel like that interview really was a turning point for us because it I feel like it set up our conversation style.
Yeah,
because it really, I think we sound like we felt more at ease.
Right.
And we were just having a friendly conversation with somebody, and that kind of carried over to the rest of our episodes.
So I am a big believer in not going back to listen to my stuff either.
You'd be right.
Hate the sound of my voice.
Smart.
I hate it. Now here is fine, no problem. But when I go back and
right, yeah,
I'm not about to do that. Unless I have to have a real purpose on going back to listen
Sure.
to something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Uh, so, what sets you all's podcast from anybody else's podcast?
Ooh, good question. I like that question. And I think, a lot of podcasters, and this is nothing bad, it's not the wrong thing, but a lot of podcasters take themselves seriously. Maybe sometimes a little bit too seriously. We sort of dial that back, and at the end of the day, we just want to introduce you to an indie wrestler, whether they're new or not, have a fun conversation about wrestling and about the person that you know who they are, and 3, at the end of the show, they get to pick any topic, and I mean any topic they want, top 5, and run it down, and that shows kind of their more personal side of them about maybe what they're passionate about that's not wrestling related.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I feel like our podcast really tries to introduce you to the person behind the wrestler, not just the wrestler themselves. We talk a lot about things outside the ring. Some of these top 5s get real crazy and very personal. I always go back to Monster Factory wrestler Matt Sterling. Max Sterling told us that he loves to bake. So his top 5 was top 5 holiday pies that he likes to bake. So the gambit of, because we do get some wrestling top 5s, but when we tell wrestlers that it doesn't have to be about wrestling, they usually tend to jump on something that they really enjoy outside of the ring.
Right.
And then the other thing for me that I think really sets us apart is positivity.
Yes.
We don't,
number 1.
We are,
yes.
We don't want anything to do with negativity.
No.
We don't, we're not one of those podcasts where we go online and complain about stuff or talk about how we didn't like this or we didn't like that. We're all about the positivity, and we really, our focus is independent wrestling. Now we do talk sometimes about WWE and things like that. Obviously,
mainstream.
Most people that grew up as wrestling fans, even the wrestlers themselves were fans of, WWF back in the day and things like that. But we really try to put a spotlight on independent wrestling as much as we can, whether it be going to independent shows and doing pre-shows for companies or just interviewing stars. For 2 years, we did Monster Factory months before they closed down. We did Bell to Bell months where we had all female wrestlers from Bell to Bell. So we're very much in the independent world.
That is a good thing to hear. I'm a big indie guy, and I love to give guys and girls chances to build up their audience. If they don't have a lot of practice with doing podcasts, I don't mind them coming on my show. It's one of those things that it's in this old wrestling saying, but leave wrestling better than you found it.
Absolutely.
And I'm a true believer in that, to help other people. Of course, as a podcaster, I want to have different things, but in the end, it's not about me, it's about my guest.
Right.
And speaking of which, what I made a perfect segue to this, because I didn't do it earlier, up in the corner, guys, girls, you see a QR code. That QR code is for these gentlemen's YouTube page. You need let me rephrase that. I would like you to go visit this, and I'm telling you
right now,
you will.
When this interview's over, come on.
You will go find their good work there, and hopefully you'll become a fan of theirs too. So please take a moment and check out their page. Now,
thank you.
Oh, no problem. As a wrestling fan that y'all are, what would you say if you got tickets? Let's just say somebody's giving tickets away.
Mhm.
You got WWE, you got AEW, and you got indie shows. Which one you go into and why?
Ooh.
Interesting.
Ralph?
Well, I think for me, I've been to a lot of indie shows. I've been to WrestleMania twice now. I really think I want to go see an AEW show because I've never been to an AEW show, and from everything I hear, AEW shows are just a riotous good time. Like
Yeah.
everybody has a really good time at AEW shows, and I'd like to show them some support as well. So I think I'm going to choose to go to an AEW show.
Okay.
I've been to all three. So for me, it's a little bit harder because I've been to an AEW show, both the show and Full Gear twice now.
Oh, wow.
And I have been, same as Ralph, to two Manias, 29 and 35. So for me, and for as many indie shows as I've gone to with the podcast, even before the podcast existed, I still love going to a good indie show, man. It's just something about that intimacy, that closeness, being like right there next to everyone, and everyone's just having a good time, and everyone's involved in some way.
Sure.
Like just being at, like, with me and Ralph going to the royalty shows, Power Pro shows last year, and how for royalty it was like their first big year as a promotion, and every show ended up getting a packed house every time, and the crowd was so into everything, and that's what I love, is when the crowd is just as hype as you are. Like, yeah.
So what I do when I go to the indie shows, I generally will close my eyes and just listen for a few minutes. And if I truly can't tell by the crowd's reaction to things, and I'm thinking I'm in an arena, I know the crowd is hot. I
Right.
know that the wrestling is on par. They're doing what they're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
And the intimacy that you were talking about, I enjoy that. I always say, like, it's like going to a family reunion because you are around people. You may not know them, but you know them.
Right.
And if, say, you missed a couple of shows, when you come back, you got people, hey, man, I'm glad you're back. Everything
Right.
okay? You sure? We were worried about you because we know you don't miss this many shows, so we figured something was going on. And it's just that atmosphere that really, and it puts me in a mind of back when I was a kid. My father used to take me, my brothers and sister, to wrestling all the time. And it's so much of my love for wrestling came from the indies, or at the time small territory.
Yeah.
And man, to this day I love going to an indie. Now, are there the ones that Jim Cornette called mud shows? Yes, there are. But not every indie is garbage. Just like not every big promotion is great.
True.
It's a balance through everything.
Right.
So with that being said, what is, well, no, not what, but who is the person that is on your radar for 2026?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Is this like indies, mainstream?
Anything?
Anybody?
Any of
Okay. I mean, how many times do I have to say their name? I mean, it's a tough call between both of them, but I think I'm gonna shout out to one because I mean, brother, cousin, brother, our good buddy from North Wrestling, Brother Bedlam. I think this year, man, I think this is one to watch for him. Last year he had a great show out with at Royalty and with his tag team, and even away from it, he's been traveling everywhere. I think this is going to be an amazing year for him. Everyone should look out to and pick up and book Brother Bedlam.
Yeah, along those same lines, first I want to send a quick shout out to someone who we've had on the podcast before and has been a good friend to the show. Notorious Mimi looks like she may be getting another shot.
Yeah,
at,
I saw that
WWE. So that's
Mimi.
That's huge.
Yeah.
So hopefully good things happen for her. But on that same vein, I feel like this person is one good look away from getting a shot somewhere. And that's Harleen Lopez.
That was my number 2.
That
was my number 2.
She has been literally killing it. And if I'm giving like a 1A and a 1B, I also want to send a shout out to Journey Burke, who is killing it. She has gone all in on wrestling.
Yes.
She was a real life lawyer. That was not just her wrestling gimmick. And she gave that up to go all in on wrestling. And I think those two are really going to have big years. And I think if they get the right eyes on them, there's something there. They're gonna end up somewhere.
So you made an interesting point that this is her real life. She was a lawyer and she gave that up to live our wrestling dream.
Yep.
Have you noticed that there has been a lot of people who have other dreams, put it on hold or give it up completely to follow their love of wrestling?
Right.
And it's so amazing to see how just that thought of, hey, I like wrestling, I love wrestling, but I'm gonna do this. And then you're in the middle of it and you just about there and you're like, I can't live with myself without giving this a try.
Right.
Is that to say then that wrestling has a different hold on us, that if we get that shot, we're going for it?
Well, that's like, so at the end of every episode, we ask each wrestler, what does wrestling mean to you and how has it impacted your life? And the answers that we've gotten are exactly what you said. They say that they love it. It's their life. It saved them from something. There's so many different things wrestling has done for them other than just being in the ring that has impacted their life personally. That's why it's a question I love to ask after every episode, because you don't get the same answer every time. You really don't.
Yeah, you see where there are certain people that have dreams in life, and then there are certain people that have wrestling dreams in life. And I think when people want to reach a certain plateau in wrestling, they start to realize, like, if I'm really going to do this, if I'm really going to make a shot at this, I've got to go all in. And I love that you asked this question, because I just I'm behind on some things, so I'm just finishing Unreal on Netflix.
Yeah.
So I just watched the WrestleMania episode, and CM Punk was backstage after the episode talking to the camera, and he said two very interesting things. He said, "Don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't accomplish your dreams." And the other thing he said is, impossible is just another thing to do. And I think those are very apropos statements to what we're talking about here. And I mean, I know, like Sean and I, well, he brought it up earlier that, we got day jobs, we work and we do the podcasting on the side. But, if we had the chance to make the podcast our full-time jobs, I'd drop everything. Like that would be it. And, 2026 is going to be a big year for our show. We're making a lot of changes. We're adding a lot of things. We're trying to become graphically more professional. We're trying to become a more professional show, even like keeping the same exact tone and the same exact exciting interviews and things like that, and talking to the indie stars. But we just want to turn it up a notch, and I feel like we're at that exact spot that you're talking about, where it's like you're almost there, but it's are we gonna go all in? 2026 is going to be a big year. It's going to show us exactly where the rubber meets the road.
I love that, because that is the same attitude that I'm taking, and for me and for WSN, it's like, this is going to be our year. We're going to do some amazing work. We're going to have people talking about us, and I'm looking forward to it. And this is a prime example of it too. It's like, I was thinking about just sitting around thinking, and I was like, man, I've had a lot of cool podcasts that were really genuinely nice to me to allow me on their show. And I thought to myself, man, I need to pay them back. I need to show them that they didn't waste their time with me, and give them that same love and courtesy that they showed me. And it's like, yeah, I could do this. And what started out with me going through trying to figure out every podcast show I've been on, to like, why do it have to be that I had to be on their show? Why can't I just show them appreciation at all? So, hey, you know what? I'm going to start reaching out. I'm going to start just asking people. And it's one of those things, like, I know a lot of times you get emails from, strangers, and you don't know, like, okay, you want me to come on your show. What's the catch?
Right.
And it's like, no catch. No, I just want you to come on. I want my fans to know your background, because I think it's interesting, because we as podcasters, we have stories too that we never get to tell, because we're used to sitting in the driver's seat.
Sure.
Right.
And I want to give that opportunity to so many people, and even to the podcasters that didn't want to do it or didn't answer my emails or whatever. It's like, I'm not mad. I understand, and I still want to show you appreciation, because we are just as important as the wrestlers. Even if you don't agree with our opinions, if you don't like the way we do things, there's hundreds of more of us that you can find that suits what you're looking for. But for me, I want to tell everyone thank you, because sometimes we never hear it, and it's amazing. So it's like, I'm gonna do this, and that was my whole thought process. And I'm like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it the best of my ability. I'm just gonna keep getting people. I'm gonna figure out schedules. I'm gonna try to be open. If I got to get up at 8 in the morning to do a podcast, I get up 8 in the morning, whatever. But it's to show appreciation, because again, a lot of times we're not given that appreciation that I think everybody earns. So
and that is a perfect segue, because you saying being appreciated. Shout out real quick to one of our family members, if you will, from the Bloodline ENT, if you know who that is. Talking about someone that gives appreciation to everybody. If you go into Devin the Tribal Chief stream, shout out to you, sir. And if you're family or not, he will shout out you, your podcast, your brand, He'll tell his audience to go to your page,
Mhm.
like it, comment, share. He doesn't care as much about him. If he's on stream, he's out there showing love. That's his like one goal.
It's really amazing. You know, we've met him online, and we've collaborated with him, and you know, it's like we've almost become de facto members of the family, because
Right.
You know, doing so much together, and you know, that speaks to one of the things we're really looking forward to in 2026 is doing more collaborations with people
Right.
like Devin, like yourself,
Right.
finding ways for us to you know, work together and provide content that, you know, people will really enjoy. But
Right.
going back to your thoughts on appreciation, I mean, we're at a point now where our team is growing to just about, I mean, we're close to 10 people now on the Opinion City podcast team, and they're all people like I didn't know any of these people personally outside of wrestling. Like
Right.
most of them I met because of the podcast.
Right.
And it's been such an amazing experience, not only to work with these people, but the amount of people that have, you know, agreed to come on our show and made time to come on our show, or rearrange their schedules, or fit us in here and there when they can to come on to our show. And we've had some names.
Yeah.
You know, we've had some big names in the indie world.
Yep.
For our 50th episode, we talked to Mr. Kennedy.
Yep. Mr. Anderson. Yeah.
Mr. Anderson.
Kennedy.
Yeah.
Yes. We got to talk to him, which was amazing.
Yep.
We accidentally had Matt Hardy on our show.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
not going to let you just gloss
Nope,
over that.
okay,
You
listen,
got
okay.
to tell me
Listen,
how
all right.
that
So-
happened.
So WrestleMania 40 week, we spent the week in Philadelphia. We were
Yep.
doing shows, filming content, covering indie shows.
Mhm.
And one of the things that was happening was at the Monster Factory, Matt Hardy and John Alba, who is his co-host on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast.
Yep.
They were doing a special podcast at the Monster Factory for professional wrestlers, and they were going to take questions from the wrestlers and, you know, give them advice and
Right.
whatnot. So
Yep.
I emailed them and said, listen, we're podcasters and you guys have been really killing it in the podcasting world. I said,
Yep.
I think it would mean a lot to us and we could learn a lot if we were able to attend. So John wrote back to us and said, sure, come on down. So we went there, we met John Alba, we met Matt Hardy. It's like the third or fourth time I've met him. Super nice guy.
Right. Yeah.
John
Super
Alba
nice.
was incredibly nice.
Yeah. He's cool.
And so when we were doing that was our 1 year anniversary
yes.
show, I believe. Yes. So we were doing our 1 year anniversary show, and we decided, hey, let's ask John Alba if he'll come on. Now, John Alba is also a full-time sportscaster. So he's on the SNY network up in New York. So he said, listen, I can tape an episode with you guys, but I'm going to have to do it in between shows.
Right.
So he was in the green room up there at SNY. You could see, you know, like the Statue of Liberty behind him as we're filming this episode. So we're in the middle of the episode. There's no rhyme or reason to why this happened, but all of a sudden, John Alba's phone rings, and we had just been talking about the podcast, and he just talked about Matt Hardy, and he's like, "Speak of the devil, it's Matt Hardy." So he puts him on speakerphone and says, "Hey, Matt," he says, "I'm here with the guys from the Opinion City Podcast. We're celebrating their 1 year anniversary. Do you have anything you'd like to say to them?" And he says, "Hey guys, congratulations. That's a huge milestone. You know, I really wish I could be there celebrating with you myself, but I'm on a plane on my way to Syracuse. So unfortunately I can't be there." So we accidentally had Matt Hardy on. And what was interesting about that was that flight that he was on to Syracuse was a flight to a TNA show in Syracuse where he was making his surprise return.
Right.
And
wow.
But of course, we had recorded this before all that happened,
Yeah.
and then aired it live that Sunday. But yeah, so we accidentally had Matt Hardy on the podcast. So that was real cool. And I have to say, John Alba was amazing.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun.
He you know, kept in contact with us. We have all his contact information. We've talked to him from time to time, and just another great experience we've had with another one of our guests. Our guests have been absolutely incredible over the 2 3/4 years that we've been doing this. I mean, we'll hit 3 years in May.
Yep.
Which is just insane to think about.
Yeah. Crazy. Wild.
But just we would never have gotten here without the help of a lot of people, and too numerous to name, but just know that we recognize that we would not be where we are without the help of many, and we appreciate every single one of them.
Of course. Absolutely.
I definitely understand. Just like my WSN family, we got the founder of WSN. He is an amazing person, and in March last year was the first time we got to meet each other face to face, and we've been in a partnership for over 2.5 years. So it was an amazing thing, and it was like, wow, this is like family. I'm seeing my family for the first time,
right?
And it like you said, there's so many people behind the scenes that do so much for us that without them it wouldn't be us.
Right.
Absolutely.
So if I was a new podcaster and this was my first time, and I ran into y'all and we were talking, and I asked for some advice, what advice would you give me about starting podcasting?
It's definitely a process. I can say that because, like me and Ralph said earlier, when we started, he had the idea and we had the gear, but we had no idea what we were doing. We just started doing it to do it. And I mean, that's even, I think, in itself, good advice. If you want to do it, do it. You can learn and grow from there. Like, if you want to start it. Don't wait,
Yeah, I think that's good advice. And the other thing I would say, because I think this is really important, but don't just be yourself. Don't try to be somebody that you're not.
Absolutely.
Don't try to emulate somebody else that you've seen do a podcast. Look, if people are going to enjoy your show, yes, if you have guests, that's one thing that they'll enjoy the guests. If you talk about WWE or AEW and you have an opinion about something, sure, they'll enjoy that. But people are going to come back because they enjoy you as well.
Right.
And this is something that I think we've learned over time. We've gone to indie shows and people know who we are.
Right.
People, we've had people come up to us and ask us for a picture.
Yeah.
We've had people come up and tell us that they listen to us and love the show. I had an indie wrestler at one show come up and be like, "Hey man, I listen to your show. I really like you guys." And I think that I think that's part of it. I think you really have to I broke something. I think you really have to be yourself, because there's nobody else that's like you. And if people are gonna come back and listen to your show consistently, they're gonna do so because they like you. And that real genuine side of yourself that you're portraying on screen, people are gonna be able to see that. They're gonna know whether that's genuinely you or not.
Well, the funny thing is I've had the same thing happen with me, where people have, "Hey, Professor Bear, how are you?" I'm like,
"Yep,
who in the hell are you?"
Right.
It's like, no, and I'm just thinking this in my head, and then I was like, "Oh wow, thank you, I appreciate you." And I had a wrestler come up to me, him and his girlfriend, and they were just like excited. And I'm sitting there thinking, and I even told them this. I said, "You realize we're role reverse, right?
Right.
Be freaking out because you are you.
Right.
And I'm the one that should be asking you to take a picture, not you
Right.
asking
Oh, yeah.
me. So it's that surreal moment of, man, I'm accomplishing something and people really see it.
Right.
Um, who has been one of your most favorite guests?
Ooh. There's so many. Ooh. Oh God. It's hard because like so many of our guests' top 5 is really what makes them stand out. Not that the interviews aren't great, but like the top 5s are so wacky and out there. Like Ralph mentioned Baked Pies. When we had on the indie tag team known as the Outfielders way back, Weber and Shea, theirs was top 5 sexiest X-Men.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought?
Yeah. So like, it's so hard to pick one, like, because all of them have been so much fun. I think, for me, just because of their top 5 and where it went, the Battery is a great episode.
Well, okay. So we will warn you.
Highly
The top
recommend.
5 was the top 5 things that you may not know about the Battery.
Yes.
And number 1 was literally one of the craziest stories I've ever heard in the history of professional wrestling.
Right.
And it could have possibly gotten us canceled.
Right, but a little bit.
It was out there. You have to go back and watch that episode with the Battery. Those guys were amazing, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And so the Battery have been around for a long time, big Chikara mainstays.
Yeah.
And when we interviewed them, of course, I knew both of them from my days as a Chikara fan.
Right.
And one of the things that they did was they put on the makeup for the show.
Full face paint.
Full face paint. And I got to find out eventually at one point what a big deal that is, that, it only takes them about 10 minutes to put the makeup on because they've done it so many times, but it's a big deal for them to do that kind of thing. We've had guests that are a lot of fun, like Puff.
Puff
was
great.
An amazing interview because he's a lot of fun.
Jeff was fun.
Jeff Cannonball was also fun as well. We've had guests that have taken conversations that have gone way out of the scope. Like we had Pete Corvus on one time, and it became an episode all about fast food and fast food restaurants. It was incredible. But one of the people that's one of my favorites, just because we've had him on a number of times. We've interviewed him at different places. And he's just a fun guy to talk to. And if you ever have the opportunity to chat with him, jump at the chance. The legal eagle himself, Drew Gulak.
Drew, man.
Has been a shout out to Drew. Shout out to all the good folks at Catchpoint. Including Ultimo Ant, who teaches a late night lucha class on Friday nights. But shout out to everybody there. Drew Gulak is amazing. We've interviewed him at a number of shows, and when we had the chance to talk to him on the air, he literally did the interview from his office at Catchpoint, and the back door was open, and you could see Hot Sauce Tracy Williams training people in the ring while Drew's doing the interview. So was. Yeah, Drew was an absolute pleasure. We got him at Royalty Wrestling, and he pulled wrestlers into the interview, and he was just
scolded me at the end of the show.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy.
That's the best part.
He's one of my favorites.
So when I saw him at the show, so for Royalty Wrestling, the idea is medieval times meets pro wrestling, right? So, and they've been asking us more and more to get more involved. So, like, maybe get the fans to want to dress up during the show. So we dress up. We go there. King is the king. Me as whatever I find to put on.
I've been a pirate as well.
He's been a pirate.
Yeah, I do my thing.
But so one of the shows I dressed up, and as soon as the show was over, I went to the back, got unchanged, walked outside, was saying about everybody, and Drew looks at me and goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, Where's your outfit?" I'm like, "Oh, the show's over." I took off. He goes, "Bro, he goes, what are you doing?" He was like, "Always being here. Always be ready. You never know if a child comes up to you and sees you, they're not gonna know who you are now. Come on, what are you doing?"
I'm off to the side listening to this, pretending like I don't hear any of it, and I just think it's hilarious that But I will say this: I don't think there is a single guest that we've had on our show that we did not have a good time with.
Oh no, no.
Because we're all about fun. We're all about fun conversations and just having a good time. And our guests, be it first time podcasts, because we've had a number of those, and we have one of those coming up soon. But everybody has brought their A game as far as the fun factor goes.
Right. Yeah.
Makes it easy to talk to.
Right.
Makes it easy to have a conversation with people when you're just having a good time.
Definitely. So, do y'all do the old wrestling standard that if y'all go out to a show or something, do y'all have equipment with y'all just in case?
I mean, when it comes to like the shows that we go to, yes. I mean, I'm not bringing stuff with me to a main WWE show.
Right.
Yeah.
They wouldn't, let me bring it anyway because you can't do it. But like, and any show, I would bring something with me because just you never know, just in case, like something happens,
Yeah, we've got a pretty good setup as far as that goes. When we're at indie shows and we're just kind of doing interviews like that, we use my cell phone to film because it does 4K HD video. So we use that, and we've got simple little Rode microphones that we use now. And so it's pretty simple stuff to carry with us. It's not a whole lot of work if we're going to an indie show. So, I think we kind of live by the motto, always have your gear,
right? Yeah.
Because you just never know. You show up at a show, you never know who's going to be there,
right?
And who you're going to get to talk to.
And the reason I ask, because now I've gotten to the point now I have some equipment and I carry it with me.
Yep.
Just you never know who will be there or willing to have a conversation with you or anything. So that's a good standard to carry.
Sure.
Who would be you all's ultimate interview if God said, okay, you can interview anybody you want, alive or dead?
That
who would it be and why?
I had a solid answer right until you said that last part. So like I had a solid answer, and then you said alive or dead. I was like, oh, maybe not. Because my immediate answer is someone that we've it's been our goal since kind of day one, and Ralph already knows where I'm going with it. Orange Cassidy. That's been like our number. That's been like our like day one. Like we need like a bucket list of guests. Orange Cassidy's like number like right at the top there. But alive or dead, that makes it more difficult because like there's so many people I would love to interview. I'm sure you would love to interview Ralph. That has passed away. Bray Wyatt for one. I would have loved. Oh, dude. Ooh, that would have been a dream to interview Bray Wyatt.
I will say on the Orange Cassidy thing, we have met Orange Cassidy. We have met him. I've met him a number of times.
Multiple times.
We met him WrestleMania week, and he is 100% down to do the show. It's just getting through the folks at AEW is like
is it possible?
I mean, it's
literally
like
literally impossible.
It's like storming the beach at Normandy. I mean, it is like brutal. So if we can get through those folks, Orange is in. For me, I have an alive and I have a dead choice.
All right.
My alive choice, of course, anybody who knows me would be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah,
because
of course.
He is just,
Yep.
He's always been my favorite. As I mentioned, I've been to 2 WrestleManias. Obviously, WrestleMania 40 I did because we were down there for the whole weekend. My wife and I did both nights of 40, and it was amazing. But I also did 25 in Texas, and part of my reasoning for going was I wanted to see Stone Cold get inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
So I've been a huge Stone Cold mark for a long time. But as far as someone who is no longer with us, I have been, since I was a little child, I have been a Hulkamaniac, and I would love to interview Hulk Hogan. I think that there are so many interesting stories he could have told.
Right.
And I'd really be interested to talk to him, about his, about towards the later years of his life when he was saved and found the Lord. And I would really love to talk to him about that, because I've seen a number of interviews where he's talked about that. And I think there's a lot of interesting things there, but he's a guy who has lived so many different wrestling lifetimes.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
the different decades that he's been a part of, the Hulkamaniac stuff in WWF, the Hulkamaniac stuff in WCW, the turn, which I don't care what anybody says, you can leave the John Cena heel turn out of it. Hogan turning heel was the most surprising thing that has ever happened in the history of professional wrestling, because I really think that that's one that nobody saw coming. Nobody
Right.
would have guessed. But just I'm a huge NWO fan.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I would have loved to have been able to talk to him about, some of the NWO years and just what it was like to be a part of that. Because there are very few times in professional wrestling where somebody can do something that nobody's really done before, and it was this groundbreaking thing.
With that being said, I will say this. Anybody who knows me knows I can't stand Hogan.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Couldn't
Fair enough.
stand him. And this is as a little kid.
Got it.
Yeah.
I
Got
couldn't
it.
stand him.
Got it.
And the reason being is I'm from the South. Wrestling was more than wrestling.
Right.
Sure.
It's still real to me,
a way
damn
of
it.
life. And,
Yeah.
and if you fixed your mouth to say the F word around us, we was gonna probably break your jaw.
Oh God. Oh
Yeah.
jeez. Oh God.
That's how seriously we took it. So I was never a Hogan fan, but I would never take away what Hogan meant to this industry
Right.
and to what he's done. And to the simple fact that if you got Hogan in Japan,
Yes.
Right. Yeah, man.
WWE, he could show you he actually could wrestle.
Oh, dude.
Agreed.
Drop
Yeah.
kicks and like crazy moves. Oh, dude.
Yeah, stuff you never would imagine you'd see from it definitely was not the 5 moves of doom.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's far from it.
So you brought up the NWO,
Yeah.
and I have to ask this question. How do y'all feel about the end of the Bullet Club?
I just saw that and I'm like, I would say I'm sad, and part of me is sad, but also part of me stopped following them kind of after the main leaders. I stopped really following Bullet Club after Cody left them. Once Cody left them, I kind of stopped following who was who.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, the lineage is incredible. Like, what was it? Like 13 years. So like incredible reign. But yeah, after it went to War Dogs, I kind of stopped following kind of the lineage.
Yeah, you can't go on forever with these things. I mean, the idea has a certain identity to it, I think.
Right.
And you have certain people that are so ingrained in the idea of the Bullet Club that when you think of the Bullet Club, you can't think of anybody else. And
Right.
It's interesting that you bring that up when we talk about the NWO, because it's the same general principle. you know, you look at the NWO and it goes on so long that it almost becomes a parody of itself.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Right.
You want to, I look at the Bullet Club the same way that I look at AJ Styles, and AJ Styles is planning on retiring in 2026. And I think part of that is, you know, go out on top before you're not able to be
Right. Yep.
AJ Styles anymore. And,
Mhm.
you know, I think the Bullet Club has gotten to a point where it's gone so long that it's not really the Bullet Club anymore. So maybe it
Right.
is time to, you know, call it a day.
Um, I agree with both of y'all. You can't reign forever. They had a great run,
It did.
and considering that they started in Japan and literally took over the world
Yeah.
Mm.
with the how many groups can you name that had reinvented itself with different leaders
Mm.
with just core members?
Right.
They would just change out, and for you not to have known who the people were, except for AJ, it was an amazing run for them.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I don't think you can say any other group has been able to do what they've done. You know, I love the idea of, you know, leaders kind of getting jumped out. I think that was
Right.
brilliant
Yeah, that was
because
cool.
it shows that sort of, you know, gang mentality, the kind of thing that you would imagine that a stable in Japan would do, like a
Right.
stable that's so serious about that. But if you look at the Bullet Club, you know, you have certain things in the merchandising world in professional wrestling that are just unparalleled.
Yep.
The Austin 316 shirt, the NWO shirt.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bullet Club shirt did something special because I don't think we've ever seen a piece of professional wrestling merchandise that has been parodied so many times and in so many different ways. Like
We did too.
that we did it too, sure. That Bullet Club logo was absolutely iconic. And
Yep.
I mean, as much as you knew Austin 316 and you knew NWO, whether you were a wrestling fan or not, you knew Bullet Club as well.
Oh yeah,
right?
you knew.
Yeah.
And Bullet Club was not even like a main stable in
Right,
the
yeah,
United
yeah.
States, and yet everybody still knew what it was.
And you also have to look at, you know, especially like in the beginning days, like all the names that came out and went on to become bigger and better. Adam Cole, Finn Balor, you know, AJ Styles making the jump, Omega, all these leaders that got jumped went to bigger and better things. AEW, WWE, like it's crazy to think that they also exiled leaders, but then those leaders went on to do bigger and better things after the fact.
Yeah, definitely. I want to take the time out to tell y'all that I appreciate y'all so much. Again, taking a chance on me that y'all knew nothing about and didn't know about what I was wanting to talk about with WSN. Y'all gave me a platform to help spring that WSN to the world. And I feel like that I'm a firm believer in giving people their flowers, because most times when people get their recognition and those flowers, they are dead and gone and they can't enjoy them.
Sure.
They can't smell them. And I personally believe that you should give people their flowers when you can, so they can enjoy them.
Yeah.
And this is my way of thanking y'all and being appreciative for what y'all did for me. And I wanted to give that same courtesy and respect to y'all and let you know that not only your fans, but me and hopefully some of my fans respect and hope that y'all continue growing and continue having the success, and to just again to be thankful for y'all.
Well, we definitely appreciate the kind words. We kind of look at this as, we've got to take care of our own. So podcasters have to take care of other podcasters, and if we can take the opportunity to shine a light on someone else, I'm all for it. Like it's and I wanted to say this earlier when we were talking about who to look forward to in 2026. And I had mentioned that the people that I had talked about, I felt were, one good look away from going big time. And I feel like that's where WSN is. I feel like if we can shine a light on that and show that to people, people don't know what they really have there. I mean, WSN is an incredible thing. It's the amount of content that is on there and things that you can watch. And it is such a great platform for professional wrestling. And I feel like if we can just get people to take a look at it, they're going to absolutely love it, because it is such a great thing. And the conversation that we got to have with you, not only about WSN, but about you as a wrestling fan and learning more about you. That's what we love to do. We love to introduce wrestling fans to new people, to new concepts, to new things. And, it was our pleasure to be able to do that, with you as you were getting things, getting traction behind things. And, we really appreciate the opportunity to come on here and, chat it up with you. It's nice every once in a while to be guests ourselves and get to talk about things and throw things out there. But I think you're doing an amazing job with the stuff that you do and the content that you produce. I think people are lucky to have people like you that are willing to get involved and put the work in and do these things. And, I kind of feel like we're of the same cloth here, because we want to produce things and we want to do things for other people. We want to provide content for other people that they can enjoy. Our podcast has never been about the two of us. Like if people enjoy us, great. If people, recognize us, or they like listening to, the goofy things that we end up saying on the show, that's great. And I don't know, I said this on one of our shows. I said,
probably,
if I never got another viewer to subscribe to our YouTube channel, I would be fine with it, because that's not what it's about for us. It's not about, like, sure, we look at these things like anybody else does, but like, it's not about the subscribers. It's not about the views, which, by the way, we have a video right now. A wrestler by the name of Kendra Kaida, who is making waves on the East Coast. She is at somewhere around 635 views, which was insane, because that's like 200 and some more than we actually have subscribers. So it's insane to me. And not to toot my own horn, but toot baby, because we have a short on our YouTube channel where it's me talking about my favorite match of all time, and it's technically not a match, but it's still my favorite. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin and Booker T battling in a grocery store. And that short has over 2,500 views. It's the most watched thing on our channel. But again, if I never got another viewer tomorrow, to subscribe, if we never had another subscription on our YouTube channel, I could die a happy man tomorrow, knowing that we're doing something that we feel is, as you said earlier, leaving wrestling a better place than we found it. We have had people, again, that have been first time doing a podcast on our show, and we have had people thank us for giving them a platform to tell their story when
Right.
no one else would, you
Right.
know. And we've had some really personal and intense stories on our show. People come on and, you know, I think people feel at ease with us when they talk to us, and
Right.
I'm vulnerable, and they talk about things maybe they wouldn't talk about elsewhere.
Right. Right.
And it's just been such an incredible journey for us to be able to do this, because when we started out, you know, we had no intentions of becoming a, you know, de facto home for independent wrestling and independent wrestlers. Like we didn't have our first guest until episode 8. We didn't have our first video guest until like episode 14 or something like that. And it was never our intention to have a guest all the time. It was really, you know,
Right.
we're going to talk about our opinions, and we were going to do our top 5 things and whatnot. Steamrolled into what it became. And
Right.
the more we kept getting guests, it was just like, well, every week, with a few exceptions, every week, you know, from like 14 on, we've had a guest.
Right.
And it's been such a great and fulfilling journey for us.
Right.
Being able to really let those wrestlers shine and give
Yep.
them a chance to talk about themselves, and not just in like, okay, where have you wrestled? Where are you wrestling?
Right.
Who have you wrestled that you like to wrestle? Who would you want to wrestle? It's not just about that. We do ask those questions too, but we get so personal with people.
Right.
I love that about our show. And I know that when this ride is over, because it's not going to last forever, but
Right.
I know when this ride is over, I can look back on it and I can say, I did something positive for wrestling. Because
Hell yeah.
we need more positive people in wrestling. We need more positivity in wrestling. You know, podcasters need to work together. Listen, it's a huge table. Everybody can sit down and eat. There's no reason that we can't sit down and eat with each other.
Right.
Same thing in wrestling. You know, any fan of any wrestling is a fan of wrestling, whether it's
That's right.
WWE, AEW. We're not fans of the company. We're fans of wrestling.
Wrestling.
So,
That's the
you
main
know,
thing. Yeah.
sit down at the table and eat together. That's my that's my motto for 2026. Sit down at the table and eat together.
Yeah, exactly.
So we look forward to 2026, and we would love to do more collaborations with you.
Yeah.
We'd love to do more collaborations and get the word out about WSN. You know, it's we got to stick together, and we got to take care of each other.
Amen. That is the main point, I think. And I love that y'all believe that. I love that y'all are genuine, and it shows in your interviews, and to have fun and to show the human side of wrestlers, because sometimes we get so caught up in wrestling, we don't realize, hey, that person is just a human. They have a life too. So
Absolutely.
But guys, thank you again so very much. Definitely down to collaborate some more.
Heck yeah.
And
Absolutely.
we will definitely work something out and keep the positivity going.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Guys, girls, thank you so much for joining me around the campfire once again to hear amazing stories, to get to understand that we as podcasters, we have great stories too.
Yeah.
And, you know, you will get some amazing tales and learn why we love doing what we're doing. So
Amen.
that's what we are here for. And again, and as I always love to say before I leave a podcast, please, please, please Support your local indie wrestling. You never, ever, ever know who you will see and get behind. And later on, they could make it to the big time and be a world heavyweight champion.
Oh,
So
Absolutely.
again, thank y'all so much. I am Professor Bear. This has been a Bear's Thought, and we will see you around the campfire for another great conversation. Y'all have a great night, and thank you so, so very much.